back to Movie Review Mom. I'm the mom and I do the movie reviews. And my goal is to give you the heads up on filmmaking quality and content so that you can make the best decision for you and your family as to whether or not you want to watch a specific movie and spend time and money doing so. So, the movie I'm reviewing for you today is called All the Old Knives. This spy thriller premiered on Amazon Prime on April 8th, 2022. It's rated R and is an hour and 41 minutes. So, in a nutshell, when the CIA discovers one of its agents leaked information that cost more than 100 people their lives, veteran operative Henry Pelham, played by the handsome Chris Pine, is assigned to root out the mole from among his former office mates at the agency's Vienna station. His investigation takes him from Austria to England to California, where he's reunited with his one-time colleague and ex-lover, Celia Harrison, played by the beautiful Thandie Newton. The pair are forced to blur the lines between profession and passion in this riveting tale of global espionage, moral ambiguity, and deadly betrayal. So the movie is based on the novel of the same name by Olin Steinhauer, who also adapted the screenplay by a Danish filmmaker, Janus Metz Pedersen. All right, so let me give you the list of things I liked and didn't like, and tips for parents, themes worth talking about, movie lines, and then even recommendations for other films that I think you'll also like if you like this one. So here's the list of things that I really liked. First of all, the cast is really great. And what drew me in when I first saw who was going to be in the film, I'm a sucker for the handsome Chris Pine, and I loved hearing him speak so many languages and look a little bit older and more distinguished with the gray hairs. You know, why is it that men who get gray hairs look distinguished and women with gray hair just look old? Huh? Why is that? The lovely Thandie Newton is always mesmerizing to watch, and she's just really fantastic in this. It's also really great to see Lawrence Fishburne and Jonathan Pryce. I love both of them, and they always provide kind of an elegant layer of maturity to movies when they show up in them. This is an espionage movie with multiple unpredictable plot twists. I love plot twists, and it's nice to sit back and not know exactly where a film is going and what's going to happen. So I really enjoyed that part of it. There's some great close-up shots. You get to visit charming Austria, beautiful London, and fantastic Carmel, California, which is near where I grew up, because the film is shot on all three locations. Loved it. The title is clever and lets you know instantly that there are going to be some espionage tropes and long conversations and compromised loyalties. And that's exactly what you get. Now, there were some things I didn't like or thought could have been done better. First of all, this whodunit mystery focuses on relationships, not action thrills. So be forewarned to manage your expectations. There are no big chase scenes through city streets in Europe or anything quite like that. There are so many flashbacks that might confuse some viewers about the timeline. So pay attention to the hairstyles, mostly to help keep you up with the flip-flopping in time. There's some very heavy-handed music. The score is just like, oh, yeah, it takes very dramatic the entire time. Like there's no levity and humor or anything like that. It's very dark and sad and melancholy. There's also lots of exposition, which can be tiring. It's informative and helpful, but still it drags the scenes down a little bit. There are some important moments that are quickly passed over where you're like, wait, did I catch that plot? Well, less important moments like the sex scenes are unnecessarily long. Like, we get it, they had a love affair, let's move on. And it's probably not a movie that you're going to want to watch again and again once you know who the mole is. And that's the crux of the story, is finding out who is the mole. It's slow moving, and the gray color palette really makes it feel even more dull and lifeless. I wanted more backstory on all of the characters, and you're left with a feeling of sadness and even some frustration. let me give you some tips for parents. This is not an appropriate movie for kids due to the profanity, sex scenes, and nudity. In addition to that, they're just going to be bored out of their minds, really, with all of the adults talking. It's a movie about adults talking. There is profanity, crude language, and lots of F-bombs. And the biggest thing for me is nudity. You see a topless woman several times, and the complete naked backside of a man and the front side of a man, although sometimes in the shadows. There are some graphic premarital relations scenes that you just don't want your kids watching. And then there are subtitles when various foreign languages are spoken. I mean, that's not objectionable. It's just your kids would have to read, and some kids just don't want to do that when they're watching movies. But again, I don't recommend this for kids at all. Some of the themes that are illustrated very well are complicated relationships, second chances, honesty and trust, international politics and secrets, loyalty, betrayal, and love. And self-sacrifice, I should throw that one out there too. All right, I always write down funny lines and interesting lines, and I put them on my written review at moviereviewmom.com. However, I don't have any funny lines because this is a serious drama, but I'll share an interesting line with you. And so the first one is spoken by Henry Pelham, who's played by Chris Pine. And he says, talking to another colleague about, what's happening at the corporate office, and this is true, this is not true, that kind of stuff. And he says, and we believe them. And Vic Wallinger, one of his coworkers, says, headquarters believes them. That's what matters. And I thought that was an interesting aspect, and one that we often see in espionage movies, that the spies are the boots on the ground and they know what's happening, or they have a better idea of what's happening, but headquarters or the corporate office, often gets bogged down in red tape and that kind of stuff. They don't take the time to really understand, which is true with a lot of companies too, isn't it? All right, so overall, I enjoyed the movie. My movie review mom grade is a B. Let me give you a couple of recommendations for other movies before I go. The first one that I immediately thought of was Bridge of Spies with Tom Hanks. It's a lot of drama, but also kind of the nuts and bolts of how espionage works. And I don't know, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was good. And if you haven't seen it, check it out. And then another one that I thought of is called The Good Shepherd. Also some espionage types of stuff, and coworker stuff. I don't want to give you any spoilers, but also another one worth checking out. All right, that's it for my review. Thank you so much for sticking around to the end. I know sometimes subscribers just want to hear the good and then they drop off, but you got to watch it to the end because then I have more stuff to say. Thank you for subscribing, liking, and commenting down below. All of those actions help YouTube to spread fairy dust all over my YouTube channel so more people can find it. And I appreciate your help as I'm trying to get this channel to grow. So I hope that if you watch this movie that you do enjoy it, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye for now.